Behind these walls is where I found freedom. I spent over 2,000 days in prison, learning more about myself in this life than I ever could have thought possible.
Just behind these walls, I spent 17,520 hours changing my life. And when I teamed up with Sean, it was to change 1 billion lives for the better. Join us today and level up and become the architect of your greatest life. What's going on, friends? Travis Richey here, co-founder of Convicted Mindset. If you haven't gone and checked us out over at our website, there's a whole host of references. We have a mentorship program over there as well, where Sean and I coach many of the formerly and currently incarcerated individuals on how to re-enter society. Over the last 10 years of us being in the incarcerated space, we've also realized that so many people that are out there in the entrepreneurial space also struggle or have a lot of the same opportunities with the incarcerated folks. Many individuals, whether you're on this side of the fence or the other, have some limiting beliefs that keep them from acknowledging where they want to actually be in life. And so the Convicted Mindset started out behind prison walls. But most importantly, it takes those individuals, perhaps physically incarcerated, allows them to be in a different place mentally. And so we want to make sure that whether you are incarcerated, know somebody who's incarcerated, or feel that you yourself are a little bit stuck in life, that you head over to convictedmindset.com and let us help you get to where you want to be in life. So with that being said, as many of you who have followed along on our channel, we can't be more grateful for all of the comments and the feedback we've received. And I have heard it loud and clear. Many of you have started to understand that I am the finance guy. I'm the numbers guy. I'm the money guy. And grateful for that title and grateful for the knowledge that I have to give to everybody else. I don't find that the crab in the bucket theory serves anybody. I think all too often, whether it's on social media or just the way that the world is in general, we think that there's a scarcity problem, that if I give away a little bit of information or knowledge, that somebody else will have more than I do. But I believe it the exact opposite. If I come into a situation, perhaps this right here, and I raise the tide in the room or in the community or in the world, that if you're a boat that's around me, I lift everybody up. I don't believe in the scarcity mindset. I believe in the abundance mindset, that there is enough pie to go around. And trust you me, if we start to run out of pies, we're just going to start baking some more. I hope that the information that we've shared is amazing and you understand where you need to get to in life. And if you have some questions, feel free to go to convictedmindset.com, reach out to Sean and I, drop us a note, drop us a message on our Contact Us page, and let us know how we can help. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this particular episode. It's one that I get asked almost every day now from you guys, and it's how do I make money in the current crisis? The world as we know it, as a matter of 2 weeks ago, has gone into crisis mode, on the verge of World War III, if you read the news headlines. As you know, if you've lived under a rock, the Russian army has invaded the country of Ukraine. And so many things have been affected. Gas prices are through the roof. Commodities like food are through the roof. And there's so much uncertainty in the world. Well, there's two things that I want to give to you today that will allow you to take advantage of the current crisis. And not in a negative way, but in a way that works for your portfolio. Now, when we are picking stocks, the way that I prefer to pick stocks is one of two ways. Number one, I always want to invest in a company that I use. And so look at something. Right now I'm recording this and I have my iPhone sitting here next to me. And so instead of looking at the Apple stock and seeing how much money it would take for me to invest in Apple, look at all of the ancillary pieces that go into the iPhone. So many of us will have a cord that we need to take with us to charge the phone. Almost every one of us have a case that we put on the phone, and also a protector that goes on the front of our iPhones. So keep that in mind, that you don't have to purchase the Apple stock because it's $1,000 plus and it's very expensive. You can get involved with Apple and some of the ancillary companies that support Apple. So you can ride the Apple wave per se until you have enough money to purchase Apple as a stock. That being said, the same can be said for what is happening in Ukraine. And I'll tell you how. There's a couple companies out there that I've had my eye on for a while since the beginning of this war that's happening on the other side of the world. The first company is a company called Cloudfair. Keep in mind, I have nothing to do with these companies. This is not financial advice. This is just me being a guy looking at the global situation, trying to take advantage and benefit my financial portfolio from some of the drama that goes on. Okay? Every day we have an opportunity to look at a situation one of two ways. If we're walking along the beach and you see it's 70 degrees and sunny outside, and the newspaper that you walk by says 70 and sunny this week, you continue to smile and walk by on the beach. But if you're in that same scenario and you walk by a newspaper that says tornado coming, everybody will die, you have a higher propensity to pick up that newspaper and purchase it. The media works the same way. The media is a big business. It's a business of dollars, and it's a business of eyeballs. And so the way that they capitalize on the eyeballs and the dollars is they sensationalize the things that go on. So when I'm talking about taking advantage, I'm talking about using their sensational aspects to the benefit of your portfolio. Right now, everybody's worried about the attack that's happened in Ukraine, and rightfully so. I'm not getting into the politics of whether it's right or wrong or good or bad. What I am telling you is that we know that there is a cyber security alert. What that simply means is that in today's world of information adage, when all of our information is on a laptop and a desktop and an iPhone and a smartphone, all around the world, that's how we communicate. That's how we get business done. That's how we purchase and transact in today's world, is through our information at our fingertips. And so almost everybody watching this video has been a victim of identity theft in some capacity. Today, it's very uncommon for them to rack up thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on your credit without your knowing, and then even more for you not to know about it, but to be held liable for it. That rarely happens in today's world any longer, but it still happens, right? So the cybersecurity world is on high alert right now. Is Russia going to offer some sort of cybersecurity attack on America? Are they going to do something to our infrastructure? Could be banking, could be internet technology, could be information systems. It could be social media. We don't know. And the thing about cybersecurity is it cannot go away. We believe that we live in a world where technology has to be at our fingertips. And so if technology is at our fingertips, then the information, the cyber information, also needs to be secure. So cybersecurity is going to be on the uptick over the course of the next 1 month, 1 year, and in my opinion, decade. So with that said, the cybersecurity world, one of the largest firms, one of the firms that I invest in, again, no affiliation, no reason to invest in them, just using this as a case example, is a company called Cloudfair. Over the last month, since this invasion has begun, Cloudfair is up 20%. And so when you're looking at a stock and you're looking at a place to make money, so many of us are out there looking for the next unicorn. Where do I find something that's going to pop, that's going to double my money, that's going to take me on this outer space trajectory where I make a ton of money in my portfolio? Well, if you have some of these simple companies, yet effective strategies in your portfolio, you don't have to be worried about hitting a home run. You can be on second base your entire life with a big portfolio at the end of it. Cloudfair is a company that is heavy in cybersecurity, one of the most well-known, reputable companies out there, and again, is up 20%. The second company that's on my radar and has been for a while is a company called Raytheon. Raytheon, Raytheon. Raytheon is a defense company. They're out of Colorado and many other places, but they're headquartered down there in Colorado. So much of what is happening right now, the world is on high alert. Every country, every continent, every city, every major airport is trying to figure out their defense strategy. What happens if somebody over in Europe decides to get crazy here in America? What's our defense strategy? So when you're looking at a company like Raytheon that handles the defense systems, both on the ground and in the air, that's where it gets very important for me in this particular company. A company like Raytheon over the last month is up 10% just because they're in the right space. So between Cloudfair and Raytheon, you're looking at a 30% portfolio jump just by being acutely aware of what is happening in the world around you. And so with that being said, I don't just want to focus on Ukraine, but I want to focus on some of the other events of life. Start to look around you, and I'll bring a positive one into this next scenario. Look at some of the major holidays that are up. St. Patrick's Day, right? The next one is going to be Easter, okay? All of these companies are going to have some sort of celebration attached to them. I'm sorry, all of these holidays are going to have some sort of celebration attached to them. What does that mean? What do we do at Easter? Most of us go out, we purchase Easter eggs, we purchase Easter baskets, we purchase Easter smorgasbords of items that are probably manufactured from the same company. Could be a Hershey's company, could be a Nestle company. Look at those companies. When we are Americans and we are typically have a holiday every month or every other month, we go from New Year's to Valentine's to spring break to St. Patrick's Day to Mother's Day to Father's Day to 4th of July. We're celebrating constantly. And so this company like a Nestle or a Cadbury or a major conglomerate has a ton of impact and influence over our buying habits. And so look at that opportunity over the course of years. So a simple company like a Nestle that you can invest in today at a reasonable rate will most likely be around over the next 10, 20, 50, 100 years. So it's a good safe bet. It's a good reasonable risk to take when you're looking at your portfolio, okay? Those are opportunity stocks. The second way that I want to teach you guys how I pick stocks, and I have a lot of my family pick stocks, are by what they like. You see, I am in a demographic that's much different than the movers and the shakers of the world. In the TikToks and in the Snapchats and in all of the super fancy influencers that are somewhere between the ages of 15 and 23, those people really move the needle. They may not have the dollars to move the needle, but they have the eyeballs that we talked about earlier. And so when you're looking at things like dolls from Micheal, or you're looking at things like chocolates from Nestle, I go back to the influencers that are ages 15 to 23, and I see some of the things that they're wearing. I see the music they're listening to. I see some of the things that they're doing. And so what products are associated with this next wave of influencers that are going to be a big deal? I'll give you one that's an example personally for me, and I have no affiliation with it. And as a matter of fact, I've never even played it. Is a game called Fortnite. I know that in the younger demographic of young boys, the game of Fortnite is incredibly popular. And it has millions and tens of millions, probably even hundreds of millions of subscribers and viewers. And although it's a free game, they have a freemium model where everybody can go in and purchase things. And so that particular game is going to be around, in my opinion, for a very long time. If for whatever reason that game magically disappears, I know the company that made that game has a reason for it and is probably an upgrade and is probably a reason to purchase. So think of those things that are in the world around you that are simple, asset-backed commodities in the stock world or equities in the stock world that you can take advantage of, not just in crisis mode, but in everyday mode, okay? If you're looking for a very simple portfolio and you're like, Travis, where do I even start, okay? My biggest tip for you is this. Go to Vanguard.com. There's no web links or affiliation. Go to Vanguard.com and click sign up. They even have a 1-800 number that's typically open like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. They'll walk you through how to do it. It couldn't be simpler. You're going to need a bank account. You're going to need some form of photo identification so they know that it's you, and you can open up an account. They have what are called target date retirement funds. A target date retirement fund is exactly what it sounds like. When you put your date in of retirement, 2050, 2055, 2065, whatever it might be, you automatically are investing in a target date retirement fund that allocates the money and the asset classes for that target date. What does that even mean? Okay, let me reverse engineer. If you are retiring in, let's say, 50 years, that's when you'll be able to retire. You're going to have a very aggressive portfolio. You're going to have a very aggressive stock approach. If you're retiring in 10 years, you're going to have a much more conservative stock portfolio or stock approach. So you'll have a mixture of stocks and bonds and treasuries and all sorts of other fun things, asset classes. But Vanguard.com has target date retirement funds that you can go and invest in, open them up with $1,000 and set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about picking the perfect stock. There are traders out there that do this on a daily basis. They've made millions and billions of dollars being right. And it is more important for you to be consistent than it is for you to be right. Social media has us all freaked out trying to figure out the next ape or the next NFT or the next metaverse island to buy. And that's great. And I applaud you if you're doing it and you know how to do it. But in 50 years from now, the set it and forget it are the ones, in my opinion, that are going to have the consistent dollars that will allow you to live a life in retirement that's comfortable. Now, when you go to those portfolios, you can always modify them. You can make them more or less aggressive. You can give the robo-advisor details. You can increase dollar amounts. You can do whatever you want to do. It's your portfolio. It's your money. But the simplest questions that I always get are, Travis, where do I start? You've told me about Cloudfair. You've told me about Raytheon. You've told me about Micheal. You've told me about Nike. You've told me about Verizon. Where do I go to buy it? Again, Vanguard.com, target date retirement funds, start there. That's the simplest, easiest place for everybody to go to get started and to have a portfolio that you can count on when you need it most. As always, I appreciate you guys listening to our content. If we can be of any value to you in the entrepreneurial financial space, if you just need a little bit of help getting unstuck, both Sean and I have a course at convictedmindset.com where we work with you one-on-one and we help you get from where you are to where you know you need to be. Hit us up at convictedmindset.com and let us know how we can help you become great. We'll see you soon, friends.